This is private, by the way, so don't feel like you need to hide behind your or turn your camera off. It doesn't go out to the public. But hi, Deanne, how are you? Welcome, everybody, on our weekly Monday night call. Yeah, really happy that you're all here. Lots of new faces, which is fantastic. Well, my name is Sergio, and this is my beautiful fiancée, Rebecca, and we're just going to go through a presentation for about an hour. If you've got questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. We've got the very accomplished Jen and Denise and a whole bunch of other people here that are very experienced and will gladly answer questions for you. If you feel you want to have a more direct question at us, wait till the end, and then we'll unmute and we'll gladly go through a few questions. But I'll just have a brief introduction to myself, and then Rebecca can tell her side of the story, because it was pretty much how she came across this incredible product. That is why we are here today. But my background is in professional sport, so I have been in high performance sport for all my life. I was a golf professional for almost 20 years. I actually was in the food industry for 5 years as of recent. Talk about a left field shift. But one of the things that I saw in this particular product was what, from my experience, what I always looked at in terms of helping players develop, recover, perform better, think better, and so forth. I tried possibly everything under the sun. That's not a joke. Normally on myself first, and then anything that would work, I would pass on to the players. But I've never seen anything like this, and it is science-backed, and you will see all that through our presentation. But I want to pass it over to you, and you can. Yeah.
So, as Serge said, I'm Rebecca, and we do this every single Monday. So for those of you who are joining us again, you've seen us a couple of times. Thank you so much for coming along and supporting our mission. It's very exciting for us. Obviously, we're about 8 months in now, actually. And my story is that I received this bottle in the mail about 8 months ago, and it was posted to me, and I'll just open it so you can have a look at what is inside. This little cute bottle of high performance curcumin, bioavailable curcumin, which we'll be talking about tonight. We'll be sharing the science and the technology behind this incredible German design product. And so I received this in the mail on after a conversation I had with somebody who reached out to me and said, I've got the product, you need to take a look at it. She was somebody that I knew from my days in Melbourne when I had a clinic. I ran a clinic. We had 6,000 clients, 25 staff. We had lots of different therapies that we used to provide to our clientele. A lot of alternative therapies and some physiotherapy and remedial type therapies as well. So I saw a lot of products in my time, a lot of different therapeutic techniques, knew the benefits of lots of different things, was always on the lookout for new, health type products, wellness products. I'd seen some great ones and seen some pretty average ones. Anyway, so when this friend of mine reached out, she said, I've got something I really want to share with you. Please take notice of this. Please, I want you to have a look at it, because it's not in Australia and New Zealand as of yet. I happened to be in Australia at the time. And she said, we have a potential to bring this product to market here in Australia and New Zealand. And to be honest, it was the last thing I was kind of looking to do. I was busy enough. But, she said it was a really worthy product. And that word just kind of bounced back at me. And I thought, well, she's somebody that I respect her opinion. And I thought, yep, okay, I'll try it. And like you, Sam, I wanted to try it before I jumped in. I thought that was fair. So she sent me a bottle. I got it the next day. Unreal, easy to post, cute little bottle. Started taking notice of my changes after 10 drops a day in my coffee in the morning, just like you, James. And, I woke up the next day having slept all through the night, felt incredible mental clarity. I was far less sore in my neck and shoulders. And that was a real telltale for me. And I just felt this sort of general sense of well-being. I thought, well, okay, this is nice. And after 5 days on the product, 10 drops a day, I noticed that I woke up not feeling the heaviness I get in my lungs being an asthmatic for 12 years now. And I felt really light when I woke up, and I thought, well, that's interesting. I don't feel the need to reach for my steroids to kind of support me through that, that morning wake up. And I got a bit excited about that, made it through the whole day without steroids, and kept them close at hand just in case, but actually didn't need them, and got more and more excited by that that possibility for my body, that my inflammatory response was being supported, that I wasn't having a kind of such an extreme inflammatory response as I would normally. So I thought, well, this is doing what it says it does. I got very excited, talked to Serge, and we made a choice not long after to go all in, boots and all, and bring this product to market, do as much as we could. And we're still here, we're still kicking, we're growing, thriving. And we are so excited because at this point we've changed probably, I would say thousands of lives. I don't know the exact number, but when you share a product like this and people share it and they get results and they get excited and they can't not share, it spreads like wildfire. And that's what we've seen in our community, in our families, and in our close friendship groups. And of course, the more that grows and expands, the more new friends we make. So we're meeting people all the time that we would never have had the contact with. And some of those people have had life-changing results. And that is incredibly fulfilling and rewarding for us. So we are very heart-centered people. We're very much about being a force for good in the world. We know that there's, lots of people like us too, lots of like-minded, heart-centered people that really do want to make an impact and change lives. So we have found a vehicle and a way and a means to do that with this product, which is incredibly low cost, high impact, just a remarkable piece of technology that we've got in our hands. So we're going to run through a presentation. We'll also do some in-person testimonials, which is always the most exciting part of the Monday night call. And we'll call on a few people when it's that time. So again, if you've got questions, pop them in the chat. Most of those will be answered as we go through the presentation anyway, and then we'll come back to you in the middle, do some testimony, and then we'll finish off the presentation, tell you how you can get the product, and why you should be so excited about it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay. What did you set it up, by the way?
Seeing I did. Just one memento. Just got to. We are running out of battery on our. Here it is. Okay, so I'm just going to come back and do a share screen with everybody.
Okay. Judy, can you, sorry. Can somebody give me, can you just open it again? You can see it?
Good.
Okay, cool.
Great. Thanks, guys. We'll be back with you soon.
Awesome. And Jen, we'll just leave it up to you again to allow everybody in while we're doing this. But welcome everybody again. We are Vita Wellness Global, and we just want to take you through this incredible presentation. First thing we want to start with is not there, or there. The legal disclaimer. The main thing, please take note of the bold writing. This is not intended to cure, treat, diagnose, mitigate, or prevent disease. All presented testimonies are personal accounts only. Being from the US, we will be open here very soon. We'll cover that. But at the moment, we've got to use a legal disclaimer from the United States, which does say not suitable for children, but it is. Got tons of testimonies for kids and so forth. But look, if you're on any kind of medication that you think, we certainly recommend consult with your doctor first. We've never had issues, but please do. We do want to welcome you to something extraordinary. In fact, on a day-to-day basis, I was talking to Rebecca today about some things that have started to come up, and we're really starting to see that this is actually, it is extraordinary. It is an industry first cutting-edge natural technology, and it is a product that is truly disrupting the wellness industry. And I don't say that lightly, because I do hear it often. But in our own experience and the experience of many people, this is only just the beginning. And we want to talk about inflammation. And we do know it as the root cause of a myriad of health conditions. I mean, how inflammation resides in the body and then the symptoms associated to that are outstanding. We used to have a vast list here, but I mean, the list could be endless. and how it does manifest in the body in all sorts of forms. And we have a saying that you're either in a state of inflammation and degeneration, which is probably where most of us, I certainly know I was before this product. And now we feel like we're more in looking at healing and regeneration. That's certainly a part of what we say going from good to great, right? In terms of health and wellness. So we want to talk about curcumin, and we've all heard about it. It is the main active ingredient in turmeric, or curcuma longa, and it is a widely alternative medicine. We do know it. It is science, through science. It's a powerful anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and does have anti-cancer properties. This is documented. And in India, it's been there for dating back, I heard, from anything from 4,000 to 6,000 years ago. So very, very, very powerful. But what is interesting, and I certainly, okay, 1 second, kicked out. Sorry guys, hang on 1 sec. Okay, so this is the National Library of Medicine in the United States. It's called PubMed. And it is a huge database for anyone, I mean, obviously in America, but anyone in the world can go onto this site. It shows here that curcumin has almost 21,500 independent studies about it. What was interesting, though, was when I was looking into this, because I thought, I've heard of curcumin before, but, what's up with all the science? And I was quite astounded to find out that pretty much most, or all of them, I would probably say, noted that curcumin is actually poorly bioavailable in the body, has low solubility and low stability. And I didn't understand why. And one of the big reasons is because it's a lipid or oily compound. So oil and water don't mix. What they were able to do at the clinical level was, they obviously got the techniques to do what they want to it, reduce it in size into nanoscale. And that was when things really started to show a lot of promise, was the ability to use a nanotechnology, again, a reduction in size of the curcumin, to be able to access the body, and the potentials were astounding. But one of the things was that it wasn't available in the marketplace. So they had all these remarkable clinical benefits, but wasn't being able to translate into the public. I would say pretty much until now. We have what's called BioMS technology. So what we want to talk about tonight, not so much as curcumin, it's actually BioMS technology. So it's what's called a delivery system. Here we have next is an animation of what the delivery system is. It's gives curcumin encapsulated into a micelle structure. So basically what it could do is it protects it from entering into the bloodstream, because what a lot of the science showed was that majority, up to 95% of curcumin that you would take would just be excreted out of the system because of its low solubility. This gives it the ability to be able to enter into the bloodstream and within the matter of about 5 minutes. As you can see here, it says 30 nanometers. And what does that mean? It's basically the reduction in size, because I know you probably say it best about what nanotechnology is. It's just a reduction in size of the curcumin metabolite. So really, in basic terms, it's like a science is replicating nature, because the body can't absorb anything unless it's at nanoscale. It can't really absorb well unless it's at nanoscale. Now we have the technology to be able to do that. And 30 nanometers, so if you took your thumbnail and cut it into 1 million pieces, it will give you, what's that, 1 nanometer? So that gives you a sort of an understanding of the size that we're talking about here. And what was amazing with this is that it started to be able to show promise in cognitive issues. So it was able to cross the blood-brain barrier. And by the way, everyone, we do have science for this, and this is what makes this product, I think, even more outstanding. On the left here, we've just got this video of native curcumin extract and our product. And it's very clear. I mean, this is just the what it would look like inside your body. You can see on the left it's very clumped up, and that represents about 10% absorption. The one on the right represents 90% absorption. So this is, again, it's a game changer when it comes to what's called lipid absorption. So oil-based products or supplements in the body. And we are one of 6 companies to hold a patent for nanotechnology. Okay, so that's huge. The Germans, right? I mean, the Germans are amazing at what they do with their technology. Here's another small graph of a native curcumin extract on the left, micronized turmeric, which we all know is things like adding black pepper. It has obviously a little bit more absorbability, but not compared to, say, one of our products here, the Curcumin Plus. 277 times more bioavailable in the body. You'll see a small asterisk there, and it says clinical studies show that bioavailability levels in women is 277 times more, and in men 114 times more. Do you want to describe that? Because for why do women get more?
Yeah, well, women, basically the metabolizing function of women and men is a little bit different, and it's probably got something also to do with fat storage and the way the product itself would be metabolized a little bit more quickly in men. So with men, often you could take it twice a day for the same sort of effect. But I think what Serge touched on there with the absorption problem in the supplement industry is basically the biggest problem that we face in supplements. And anybody here who's ever spent hundreds of dollars on supplements and not felt any difference or any better, or had yellow pee at the end of the $200 bottle of vitamins, understands that this is a big problem. So what we've been able to do is actually solve that problem with this technology, which is groundbreaking. And this is why we're so excited about the technology. And also because we know curcumin is so powerful, but paired with that technology, people are getting curcumin's packing the punch that scientists knew that it could, but weren't able to replicate outside of the lab. So this is why we get so excited about this product. So 277 times more bioavailable in the body. If you did an average between men and women, you'd get about 18,000% more bioavailable than the average native turmeric or curcumin product. And of course, it's been around, turmeric's been around for thousands of years, but not in the form that we are being sold that product on the shelf, in tablet form, in raw form. Definitely a no-no. So in East Asia, where it's been used for so many thousands of years, I mean, it's always been modified by cooking and other ways of processing that to allow it to be bioavailable. But we love that this technology has nanofied the curcumin so the body doesn't have to do that work. It saves a lot of energy for the body, and the body can just get to the job of dealing with the inflammation as it's not building up any more inflammation, which is very, very exciting. So I'll go through the products really quickly. We've only got 3 products in our whole range, which is also exciting. So for anybody that's ever, been confused about what to take, and make a choice about which part of your health do you prioritize, what we love about this selection is that Nanofy is the base product. It's the flagship product of the company, and it literally just contains curcumin and vitamin D3 in the natural delivery system. So everything in this is natural. This is made from organically grown, non-GMO, non-toxic turmeric from India, and then the rest is done in Germany. We do have, this technology. We've got lots of science on it, and this one mainly helps with, let's say, inflammation. Blocks pain pathways. It helps aid digestion, oxidation. So, curcumin being a natural anti-inflammatory and antioxidant, you're getting very, very powerful effects with just 10 drops of this product a day. We've got the next formula, which is just a slight variation, and this one's got added vitamin C and ginger. So that synergy of those products together help make it a little bit more potent for people that need a bit of extra immune support and who might have some intestinal challenges, or who maybe in the past have not been able to tolerate turmeric or curcumin products before. So generally speaking, when you put this product on your tongue or drink it through your coffee, it's getting straight into the bloodstream. It doesn't even really need to go through the digestive system, although some of it will, obviously, to start to work on the intestinal lining. And we've got the Symbiofy, which is an added product. It doesn't have the BioMS technology. It doesn't need it. But what it does have is 5 billion forms of good bacteria and the food that that bacteria needs to feed on so that it can form colonies inside the gut. And why our company's decided to tackle inflammation and gut health is probably quite obvious to most people listening on the call tonight, because really they are two of the biggest challenges that we face. A lot of our immune system and most of our serotonin is actually produced in the gut. So if you don't have good gut health and you're not absorbing and digesting properly, then you aren't going to be getting the benefits of proper immune health or, some of those other processes that hormones need to take to bring those hormones to the brain. So this is a very, very powerful product. It's one that we are increasingly falling in love with as we are so enamored by the curcumin, but Symbiofy is actually a superb probiotic. So we love these 3 products, and we're excited because we may come out with another 1 or 2 in the future using the same technology that would be targeted at brain health and heart health, which is, what more could you ask for? So we love our company for keeping it really simple and producing really high quality products. So just 10 drops a day. This is how simple it is to use this product. And one of these tiny bottles is a 30-day supply with 10 drops a day, and that is the maintenance amount. So the best way to, we might demonstrate this when we come back to the screen, is to fill up the dropper to 1/3, that is equal to 10 drops, and tilt it on an angle so that the drops come out in a nice uniform way, because it's very viscous. It's a very, very thick substance that the curcumin is, housed in. So you need to just make sure that you're getting your 10 drops, and you can take more or less depending on what sort of health outcomes you're looking for. If you have more severe challenges, you might be taking more than 10. And for some people, a couple of drops a day is fine, or a couple of drops just on the tongue at the onset of pain or migraine or headache or anything like that really does wonders to help alleviate the feeling of discomfort. So we love this product. So great for the whole family. Great for pets, really good for kids, obviously, and for children and pets. We'll go through the dosages in just a minute. But, we love putting this in our coffee in the morning, but you can just put it straight on the tongue, under the tongue. If you're having it in liquid, make sure it's either room temperature or under 100 degrees. So you don't want to put this product in boiling water, because that could degrade the micelle. Or if it's too cold, like frozen, also the same issue. So just room temperature is nice, or warm to hot. Hot's fine, like even a normal cup of coffee, but not boiling. So just to summarize what the product is doing for people, no matter how your inflammation's manifesting, for a lot of people that looks like autoimmune diseases, it looks like skin conditions, it looks like diseases that are starting to, form in the body. But what we try to do is keep it really, really simple and say that across the board, what you can expect and what most people are reporting when they try this product are the things down the bottom there. So better sleep, increased energy, reduced pain, and improved clarity. And honestly, that's pretty much what everybody wants in terms of experience of wellness. So symptom reduction is something that a lot of people do find when they take these drops, which is fantastic. But the body has to prioritize its own homeostatic healing and regeneration. So some people report symptom reduction really, really quickly within, hours, days, weeks. And other people have things change that they didn't expect. So, there's it's just an incredible product that we're learning more and more about the longer we take it.
We're just going to stop share it here, because we love this part of the Monday calls, as we always do live testimonies. Who do we call out this week? Far out. Is anyone new? I mean, I know we've got a few experienced people here, but is anyone new? Actually, I can see you there, Marie. And
Hello.
anyone new
Yes.
would like to put their hand up and just share, their experience, because I know some people here are quite regular on the calls. There's a lot of new ones, which is fantastic. So you feel free to unmute. If you're too shy, I'm just going to call someone out. Because
Actually, and while someone's thinking about it, can I ask Britt? Britt, would you mind just sharing? And I'll tell you why I asked Britt, because we did a training the other day and I talked about Britt very fondly because she's a great friend of my mum. And Britt was one of the first people that I sent a bottle to in the mail as a gift. When I tried this product, I got these incredible results. I ordered a bunch and I sent them out to people that I knew needed help. And Britt was one of those people who had such a life-changing result from this product. She got me so excited that made me more convicted, and that's part of the reason why we are doing what we're doing is because of Britt. So actually, Britt, would you mind sharing a little bit?
Yes, I can. Yes, thank you very much that you sent me my first bottle, because I had an extremely difficult situation and I couldn't stand up and start to walk by myself. I was in agony, and it turned out that I had compressed discs. I have arthritis and osteoporosis in the hip. But it just come to the point where I was absolutely devastated of pain. And so thank God I got this. I took 20 drops a day. I could have taken the whole bottle. I was in panic mode, but I took 20 drops a day. And in 3 days, I could stand up and start to walk. And the pain was reduced to maybe on the scale from 100 to 60 in 3 days. So that was really, such a relief. And I do take the drops daily, and I take quite a lot actually. But I take it whenever, really. I take 20 drops really still. And I started in beginning of April. And but I also have passed it on to my daughter and my grandson, and they are really benefiting from it now, because I have also an autoimmune disease that, and I say that my digestion is not the best. I have thyroid, I have Hashimoto thyroidism, and I have a dog here who wants to take part in it all too. So she's going to kill me here. But anyway, so I can say my grandson, he has ADHD, and now he is sleeping. He is more content, more calmer, slightly calmer, not being like outright bored after 2 minutes. He can actually focus a little bit better. My daughter has got relief from her pain in her knees. And yes, but I also personally, I took
I think you've gone on mute again. Did you mute?
Oh, you've muted. Yes, it's muted.
Sorry, Britt, can't hear you.
So I used it because I had a very bad experience waking up on a very special Friday when they were over here from America, and I had no voice. I was absolutely headache and no voice, and I said, "Don't you dare do this to me today." But then I took 4 drops extra during a time period of 3 hours, and the hay fever was gone.
Wow.
And the clarity and everything. So I use it for whatever. I use really for everything. And I know we had a good fun experience when I shared of another issue that I used it for, but that's okay. I use Cinnabar 5 now too for bloating and all that. So I am absolutely Rebecca. That first change in my life with the first bottle, you know, it's just amazing, life changing.
Amazing. Thanks, Britt. Thank you so much. Hey, just, you know, we do cover this at some point during the presentation is when you see the results that you start to achieve for yourself, is that we said to Britt, Britt, tell us about your experience, and then she, and then her grandson and so forth, and because she starts to, people start to share, you can't help but want to share, and you obviously want others to experience reduction and degeneration, as we called it before, so that people do get their lives back. But thanks for sharing.
Sleep is a big one. I think if we're sleeping well, we can start to regenerate better and be restored. So
it's actually one of the, I checked it the other day, was that because I was just being nosy, I thought, what's the most widely searched supplement in the market at the moment, and sleep was 600% increase in 2 years. That's a staggering amount, right? But just so you can get an understanding of things like what people do, and they want to benefit in sleep, because without sleep, you're not going to function that well at all.
Yeah, can we just maybe, for those of you, I don't know if you can all see the whole screen, but if anyone's either had an improvement in sleep or hay fever, could you put your hand up? Yeah. Thanks. Amazing.
Oh, well, look,
amazing.
the team over there. Awesome.
I know
Judy,
we've got two
thank you.
screens, but
Yeah, I know some people don't have their cameras on, but
half the Zoom call.
Yeah, I mean, from my experience, I sleep like an absolute log within about 2 days. But anyway, who else have we got that would love to share? Please. Don't be shy.
Everyone's shy.
Everyone's too shy. Okay.
Great sleep. Maybe we can call on Christel. Hi. You knew it. Could you just share really, really quickly about your girls and the allergies? I think that might be just a really important one, because there's a bit of a focus on kids. I think we talked about grandkids, we're talking about, but this is so good for kids. And Christel's got a great story. Could you share really quickly?
I thought Sergio was going to pull on Donovan, and I said to him, I take a bit. Not.
I see you were trying to like squeeze yourself out of camera view there. You're like,
Donovan's out. Or either of you, maybe you could both share.
We have a 7-year-old, and she has had bone density issues. So has my just turned 13-year-old, and on the 24th of August, Braca broke a toe. I'll put a picture up. I don't know if you can see that. That was the X-ray. We took her to the ED, and they said to us, look, you're going to have to give her ibuprofen. We said, we can't give her that because she's got the allergies, etc. So we brought her home. Within half an hour, we given her 10 drops of the curcumin. Literally half an hour, she was bobbing up and down, dancing on it, dancing on the toe. And I thought, it could have been something we could have given her just before that. And we gave it to her for the next
2 weeks.
Two weeks. And we did another X-ray on the 14th of September, and this is what it looked like then. You can see there. And she was cleared for physical exercises. My 13-year-old, who's anaphylactic to, she calls it, she's chaperoned by an EpiPen because she's dairy, egg, wheat, gluten, everything, and it's also caused issues with bone density. Shiloh had a break a week before that, was in the moon boot and crutches, and that was the Monday, and by the Friday and the Saturday, out of the moon boot, out of the crutches. And that's unheard of with her, because it normally used to take 6 to 8 months to get her out of anything. She's been on it since August. Could barely get a cold or flu. It's just the other day that she picked up one, and I didn't have much drops, and then I eventually got some, and she was back on it.
The class is full of COVID.
The class is full of COVID, and she's back on track. The
Amazing.
same with BRCA. They do not get ill at all. And if they do, it's within 24 hours and it's boom. Because like a Brit was saying, we do the same thing. We kind of like overdose. Good sense. I gave BRCA, she's a child and she's 7. She should ideally take 7 drops a day. For those 2 weeks of her being with the really the so-called broken toe, she had it 3 times a day, 10 drops 3 times a day, and it did absolutely nothing negative to her.
It's no toxic amount. I mean,
No,
it's natural.
no toxicity at all.
You
with
can't
children-
OD on it.
no, you can't.
No, that's right. That's right.
Uh,
Unbelievable.
amazing.
Be saying, go ahead and do it, but I mean, it's got more pros in it. For us, it's got no cons at all. We've
Yes.
just positive results all the way.
And
Even with my training, Sergio, you're gonna love this. I can pull up unassisted with a 10-kilo plate.
Yes. Now, for you, you're probably not aware, Christelle, how tall are you?
155.
Yeah.
Five,
And she-
five. And how heavy are you roundabout? No, I'm not supposed to ask women her weight.
44 kilos.
she's 44
Sorry,
kilos.
say that again.
44 kilos.
And how much do you leg press?
I can leg press 185 now.
She was a superwoman. Like,
Yeah.
honestly.
The guy at the gym is asking her, how do you do that? Because, and it's true, the energy levels
The
that you
energy
get
level.
from the drops.
I take it just
Just-
before I train.
Yeah, because we don't really eat, we only eat when we're hungry. And then from morning
There's no
to,
time in the morning. You're picking up kids, taking them to school, and then I go to gym and
You also had a shoulder injury, right? Both of you, I think. Is
and
that
now there's nothing. I've got
Yeah.
no issues with this rotator
Yeah,
at all.
I couldn't do pull-ups because of the rotator.
Yeah.
And that fits it quite nicely.
Mm.
And personally, I mean, I used to be on some meds for liver and a couple of other things I shared with surgery, and I haven't taken meds for months.
Oh,
Pretty
amazing.
much like Rebecca.
And we always obviously say, if you're under a treating physician, then you just talk to them about it. We've had very positive interactions with medical doctors about curcumin
Mm.
because this is actually very, very low dose because of the high potency
Yeah.
of the nano. But just really quickly, we visited Donovan and Christelle down in Queenstown, and we were doing a presentation at their home, and the nurse who treated their daughter actually came along because she wanted to hear what this was, that she saw the results firsthand of this this toe break, and then the inflammation just being dealt to so effectively. So a lot
There's
of
a couple of other nurses and doctors that I work with now that are interested in the product.
Good.
Wow,
Fantastic.
fantastic.
Mother in
Fantastic.
Scotland, and she said, how do we get it to her? I said, "Well,
Amazing. Thank you, guys. Look, I mean, I think that's what the one remarkable thing we see with this product is the benefits sort of there's one after another, obviously depending where you are with your health, right?
Mm.
But interesting when we ask for testimonials, it's very hard to keep short because you're so enthused by what you are experiencing. And as we said before, you just want to share
Yeah.
it. So
And just really quickly though, but
yeah.
I have to always share something more because I get so inspired by these stories. But it's when you have this yourself, it's great. You might have a really good result, but you'll be thinking immediately about all the people who need it. And that's why we share, and that's why it is so easy to share this product because once you tell a few people, they start telling a few people, and it just grows like.
Maybe at the end of the call, if someone else wants to share, let's do it. But let's we'll carry on with the share screen, and we'll just cover some. Do you want to do this? I'll do that.
Yeah. So we've heard some great live testimonies, and we have thousands and thousands of great stories. But here's a few that we put together. This is a family collection. Apart from Beverly, who's a friend. This is our granddaughter up the top here, Ava, who's 3 years old, three-nager, almost 4. But when we notice that when she takes 3 drops, so basically for children, you'd be looking at 1 drop per year of age is generally enough. One tiny little drop for a whole body. So she, when she takes the drops, she's less anxious. She's also more kind of connected and outgoing at the same time. So it seems to settle her somehow, you know, and that's really, really obvious to all of us. Down the bottom on the left there is Denise. It's my mum's testimony. She had such a great result with her arthritis, osteoarthritis, and developed strength and grip, and within about 2 weeks, and had far less pain. And she's got story after story after story of, you know, family members and people that she shared the product with. We've got my story down the bottom of six days being able to you know, not reach for the steroids in the morning, which is great because they do have other side effects. But you know, and Bev up there, she's had immediately felt less pain and less anxiety. So people have their own results based on their body and what their body needs. And we love that because the body is intelligent. The body knows what it's doing. And these drops are just a support. They are delivering, you know, packing a punch with an natural anti-inflammatory that the body can utilize pretty much immediately and get to work. So we love that it's nanofied, that it's nano-sized. The body doesn't have to expend lots of energy in breaking it down. There's not a lot of waste. It's the whole lot is basically just utilized within minutes. So we've got a few visual testimonies here. And, you know, as we get closer and closer to opening, we will become more and more, there'll be a need for more and more compliance around any, you know, outrageous claims. We can't make them. We're not really even supposed to mention the names of diseases, but, you know, we have to share things like this because visually they're so impressive. You know, swelling and edema down the bottom on the left, you've got different types of skin conditions that manifest when inflammation is at the cause. Lots of improvements there, bloating and all different types of swelling. Horses, pets, dogs, cats, we love the drops for our furry friends, for our family. Why? Because Serge says this the best. You can't placebo an animal. And, you know, you might think, well, is it too good to be true? Is it mind over matter? Is it just because I'm thinking and hearing about it that I'm thinking it's working? But when we give it to our pets and we see these profound changes, we know, we become more and more convicted about the potency of curcumin in this form to do these incredible, you know, to really help the body. So we've got a stock horse up the top here, 24-year-old horse that stopped being able to walk up the hill to greet her owner, his owner every morning, with horse diabetes and severe arthritis, and 10 drops a day for 5 days, walking back up the hill. Lots of stories here. I love the one about Teddy over there who lived 6 months past her prognosis. You know, just incredible. So we love this product for pets and even houseplants, believe it or not. We would pretty much give it to anything that was alive from the neck up. So we've got Disruptive Wellness here, which is a third-party validation group on Facebook. So what's really powerful about this product is that when you have your own result, your own testimony, that's very valuable to the people that know you because they will listen to what you have to say. And then when you can back that up with 25,000 third-party testimony, that's very validating for your story. So this is what's so easy to share. So we really encourage you all to jump on Disruptive Wellness after the call. Ask the person who invited you for the invite to that, and use the search bar to have a look at anything you might be interested in. If it's a particular you know, situation that you're dealing with or something you're curious about for somebody you love and care about, there's bound to be people in there who've had similar journeys and share their results and their stories. So Serge is going to take you through this part of the presentation, which is what we're in at the moment is pre-launch. And we've worked really hard all year to be able to bring this product to market in Australasia. And so there is such an incredible opportunity still for people who want to get their hands on this product. And there's a number of ways you can do that. So we're going to go through those options with you now.
Because it is about taking control of our lives, like, you know, hearing those amazing testimonies. But I think, you know, the other part of this is what this can have the potential to do for finances. And these are definitely two things that do keep us awake at night. The economic situation is, you know, I like to look at it positively because there is a lot of change, and then with change comes opportunity. But obviously, you know, it can feel somewhat stressful, you know, with everything going up and so forth, and lots of uncertainties that we're all experiencing. We have a saying, but we have a solution for both, of obviously inflammation and inflation, because as we know, inflation has been pretty rampant for the last few months. But this is what we need you to help us expand, really. And this is a low cost, affordable business. One thing that I kind of looked at in the beginning stages of when we were introduced to this product was one was the product, was it doing what they said it could do? And that was a resounding yes. The next part is as a business model, is it viable? Is it integral? And so forth. This is myself when I was looking at this. And if you look at today, the main thing, especially after COVID, was the ability to work from home. And this does offer a low-cost, affordable business. I mean, you can do it part-time. You can put it into it as little or as much as you want. You have the opportunity to make residual income from Australia and New Zealand, or the world, and we'll cover those open countries for you. Great thing about this is that there's no retirement age, no special quals, no one to lay you off unless you lay yourself off. And it's open to everyone. We call it a form of affordable franchising. Apart from that, it's about what is offered in terms of training, support, team, and community. So we have saying there as well, it's be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Maybe at the end, if we've got time, we might just get one or two testimonies about all those things: training, support, team, and community. This is another area that I looked at very, very, with a bit of a magnifying glass, really, is what's the company like? Because, we've got things like product, tip, opportunity. One thing that I was looking at quite a lot of recent was, nanotech. And we know that tech is a huge growth sector within the next few years. So nanotech sits within the top 5 of those. And that can be at any level, but obviously this is at the food level. And I was in food before, what was called FMCG, or fast moving consumer goods. And this is something else that really came to mind, that I was like, well, actually, this is pretty, amazing for us, is that we are essentially, as much as this is a supplement, it's a food supplement. So we're in the consumables, which is, it's a great space to be in business. So this is the company as a whole. It's called Vida Phi. So Vida means life in Spanish, and Phi means, in science, means to convert. So life converted. It opened in Mexico, and the owners are, you'll see in a minute, they had quite a few years living in Cancun, Mexico, I think over 12 years, hence the company started in Mexico. It organically grew there. It wasn't really pushed online as such. It was a lot of what they call belly to belly kind of marketing, so word of mouth. And so initially it spread from Mexico, Dominican Republic, and Colombia. And 2.5 years ago, maybe we could share Kylie's photos later, was taken into the USA. Europe opened just maybe about 3 months ago, and New Zealand and Australia in pre-launch. Canada and Asia are soon to follow. So this is Shane and Laura Brady. We've had the humble, there's a few people on the call here that have had the humble opportunity to be able to actually listen to them. They've spoken to us, have done calls with us. We deal with them privately, which is great. I mean, in terms of getting involved with a company and be able to create a culture and a wonderful community, we feel very privileged. So Shane has been in the supplement industry at the corporate level for well over 20 years now. So he has a lot of experience. But what he didn't like seeing was that a lot of the supplements that he was working with weren't doing what they said. And that didn't sit very well for him, because they're quite kind of integral, heart-centered people. And they said, if they were going to do this, they were going to do this out of based on love and hope, and look to leave doubts and fears behind. And I think the amount of times we've talked to them now, we can certainly testify that. This graph here talks about growth, hypergrowth. I know I kind of laughed at these in the beginning because I was like, yeah, you kind of see these in presentations all the time. But I think one of the things that I'd really like you to be aware of is because of the relationship and the positioning of our team within the company. We know, we've spoken to him directly, we know probably maybe end of next year, Asia will follow, and that will mean countries like Malaysia, Philippines, and Singapore, with others we'll see. But we will know before anybody else, so to speak. So we have kind of first mover advantage. So, you know, if you've got some people over there that you know, or some real savvy entrepreneurs, or just people that just want to change their life, let us know, because there's a great opportunity for everybody here to be able to expand. So when it gets into Asia, I mean, Australia and New Zealand have done some phenomenal, maybe you can share that later about what New Zealand and Australia have done. But once Asia opens, this is going to explode, because, I mean, the Asian community love business and love health. We call it a business in a bottle. And like I said before, you know, if you wanted to really look at a great area to be involved in business, and it's definitely in consumables. So how do you get involved? And wholesale kits. So this is another area that I found quite outstanding within this company, was that purchasing a wholesale kit, and now that's an initial one-off, and you'll see the kits in a minute, gives you the ability to get 50% discount on all Vitify products. Now, that might be the only thing you do, and that's great, right? If you think, well, I actually get the opportunity to buy a product at wholesale and take and use it, and maybe share it with a couple of family members and so forth, you could do that. And we actually do know a few people that have done that. But that's not really going to change your financial future. Sure, it could change and benefit the health of yourself and those around you. But for a lot of people here, they want something else, because, again, those areas like I covered before about inflation. So we want something else. We want to diversify out, right? And so we have these kits. Now, that at the top there, it says 250 PV kits. So what does that mean? It's just a point volume attributed to that particular wholesale kit. So this is called the Kit 250, which has 4 Nanophy and 5 Curcumin Plus. It's a recommended retail of $500 US. Why US at the moment is because we are still currently in pre-launch. I might cover that just at the end, because we're very, very, very close to opening. Now, for the person that, say, invited you tonight and you decided to maybe buy this kit for personal use, that referrer gets a commission of $60 US paid to them. So that's about $100 New Zealand. I think it's about similar, maybe, or high 90s in Australian dollars. That includes shipping to Australia and New Zealand. So that is the Kit 250, $349 US. The next one is the 500 PV kit. We call it the business kit. And that has 9 of each bottle. So 9 Nanophy and 9 Curcumin Plus. The US dollar amount is $545. It does have a $60 shipping to New Zealand that has to be added. Why that is being advertised there as being separate is because of the explosion that we had in this business in the last handful of months. You know, the New Zealand Customs decided to want to sort of have more of a look at it. Anything over $1,000 that comes into New Zealand has to be subject to kind of duties and tax and so forth. So at the moment, we have that for New Zealand only. To the referrer, there is a $120 commission paid. Again, if you look down the bottom left there, it's a recommended retail of almost $1,000 US. So, yes, so this one here is available in EU, meaning Europe, and Australia. Has 11 of each. Another 500 PV kit. We did have this one in New Zealand. you know, and as I explained about the customs, we had to reduce that a little bit. This does include shipping to Australia and New Zealand, and there is a $120 commission paid. You'll see on the bottom there with the little asterisk, it says includes business setup, one-off $129. I'll cover that in a second for you, so you understand what that actually means. Now, this is the bigger kit that will be available in New Zealand once we open very, very soon. It has 24 of each. This is for we call them business pros. It's like for people that may have large networks, or maybe as a naturopath, or, you know, can has a big database of being in maybe health and wellness, and has the potential to move this kind of volume. But, you know, it's surprising because we've had a lot of people in Australia that have moved these, and they're not in that space. They just have loved their benefits, and they wanted to share it. And you've got to have the product. And I personally, so you can't have enough of it. So that gives you a very, very healthy $250 commission paid to the referrer. Now, in terms of that $129 initial startup cost there, this gives you your own website. So when you join the business with the wholesale kit, you will get your own website. Again, even if you just bought it wholesale and that's all you wanted to do, you will still get this back office where you can order as you so please. Now, again, this gives us the ability to access that sort of low cost, high impact product. Again, backed by science. Now, you can do this from anywhere in the world. So with that, you've got your website and virtual back office. You get wholesale discounts. You get 100% retail profit from that. You can get weekly bonuses. We get bonuses paid every Wednesday. And you can get commission support. And, you know, one thing that Shane and Laura were all about was creating a legacy for their family. The business, just to tell you, is 90% owned by them, and the other 10% is owned by other members of their family. So immediate start. I mean, we get people all the time that we talk to. We went around New Zealand recently, and people were just starting then and there on the night. I mean, this is no, by any stretch, as you could probably see, there's no hard sell here. You know, we just share it. We believe in it. And, you know, a lot of people on this call do believe in it. So, but, you know, one thing too, like business-wise, is to build residual. So getting money to make money, so to speak. So when we talk about grow exponentially from anywhere, if you've got people to say in the United States, because that's an open country and you know them, you could send them your shop link. And if they decided to be involved in the business, or even just purchase product at a wholesale price, you get benefit from that. So, and you can just do that in any open countries, and that's pretty phenomenal, because you don't often get that in traditional business. Do you want to show your mum, because it's your mum? Yeah.
Love this bit. So, and Serge has shared obviously about all the wholesale kits. But we have a saying too in our business is that you come in where you fit in. So if you just rather buy one bottle at retail from the person that referred you to to see the information, to hear about the product, that's fine. And you'd be looking at about $80 in Australia and $90 in New Zealand for a bottle of Nanofarm, and $90 in Australia and about $100 in New Zealand for a Curcumin Plus. And so that's obviously the option. But if you do want to get a wholesale kit, just throwing that in there, that you're getting the product for as little as $20 USD a bottle, which is unbelievably cost effective, affordable for families, and such a nice way to have product that's enough to just be able to gift and share, and you can move it at cost if you want to, or retail it. You've got lots of options. So there's no hard sell, like Serge said. You just come in where you fit in, and whatever makes you comfortable is great. So the reason we've had such success in the last, in 2023, since we took this project on, really, we've grown so much. We've got almost 1,000 distributors in our team, and they're people of all ages, nationalities, previous experience, people bringing a lot of their, other experience to the table, people that are just passionate about the product, people of all sexes. It's just a really fun way to share an incredibly life-changing product. And the reason we've had this success is because we've developed this 30-day success plan based on sharing. So in this example with Denise up the top, This is her real example. We took a screenshot of her e-wallet. This was the first commission that she received after being in business for herself. I pulled her out of retirement basically to help me share the product. And after, I think it was a week or two that she might have shared these products with 3 friends. So up the top there, you'll see Denise purchased a 500 PV kit and then shared it with her sister actually, who bought a 250 PV kit just for health benefits of the product. And then there's Brit in the middle, who we heard from earlier, who bought a 500 PV kit so that she had enough product for herself and to start sharing with her community as well. And then somebody over here, lovely Marg in New Zealand, purchased a large kit when we had them, it's a 1250 PV kit. And Janice received commissions on those 3 kits to the tune of $848. And so that was way more than what she'd invested for her own wholesale pack. And she had all of that product. She had 22 bottles of product, with a value of a couple of $1,000s. And she received this incredible commission just for sharing. And obviously since then, Denise has had a huge rise to fame in our little team. So she's hit the rank of what we call Diamond 2 months in a row in September and October, which means between her and her friends and teammates, they've moved over $100,000 worth of stock in a month at wholesale. So this is unbelievable. This is how passionate we are about this product. And we've developed a duplicatable system. Anybody can do this. There's nothing special about sharing and having people just purchase a wholesale kit because it serves them really well to get the product at wholesale. And the company have just decided that the way they want to do this is by helping people, making sure that people can support others. And it's a really heart-centered kind of approach. So there is a large commission coming back to people that share the product, either as wholesalers to retailers or people who are building distribution teams, as we all are here. So that's just an example of how we can help you be successful if you choose to go the business path with us. And we do have a 3 to 6 month success plan, which helps you generate 4 to 5 figures a month, every month. If that's in the plan for you as well, we can help you and coach you to that as well. So part of the other reason of our success is that when we joined Vitify and we took on this role of pre-launching into Australasia, we looked at where the gaps were and we thought, this is a new market. We're pretty savvy over this side, or down under, I should say. We need lots of resources. We need to be able to train people, have people access resources that they can learn from, that they can do their own sort of self-directed learning, that they can share with teams, that this can be duplicatable and scalable no matter where you're coming into this business. If you've had experience or you haven't, it shouldn't matter. So we created resources. We've got a fantastic Facebook page, which is open to the public, and it's lots of short videos, doctors' interviews, science videos, piquing interest about our product and the technology. Nothing about the business or the price of the product or even the name of the product doesn't even come into it, because we want people to come back to you, who you share this with, so that you can build a relationship with them and you can talk about the product benefits and you can, support them on their journey as well. We have a global hub for distributors and wholesale members. And again, we have a guide section, which is everything you need, step by step, getting started, how to join different groups, how to understand what you've got in your hand with this product and opportunity. Lots of medical science and technology info, all of the studies that are done, lots of testimonies in there. So we just encourage you to, please, if you've got a wholesale account, you really should be a member of our hub. So just ask the person who invited you. If you aren't, you need to be in the hub. We do Monday nights every Monday night. We do 8 p.m. New Zealand, 6 p.m. Australian time. We have a call like this one. And sometimes we do Q&As on a Monday if there's new information or if we've got updates to share with people. If we don't, we usually don't do the Q&A now because we're just waiting until we open, and then that's going to be a game changer. So we invite you to just bring your friends along, share this Monday night call with anybody. Anybody's welcome to attend and listen and hear the information and be part of the testimonies. And, again, lastly, we just do invite you to please take notice of what you've heard tonight. This is life-changing. It's a game changer. It's a once-in-a-lifetime pre-launch opportunity and timing and positioning. This industry is emerging, this nanotech wellness industry with an incredible science-backed product that's quite rare to have a science-backed product, especially one that's this low cost, fast acting, and can really impact the lives of families around the world, not just through health, but also through their financial situations and their futures. So please be passionate with us, and we are so glad that you've spent your time tonight listening to our presentation, and we'll come back to the screen now and take a few questions if anybody has. Yes, it is available in the UK. Yep, so Europe is open. We have 26 EU countries, I think, and Europe, UK and Denmark, and is it Sweden? It's one other, but Europe's open. So Europe has local shipping. That's what an open country means. They have a warehouse in Amsterdam. They ship out. It takes about 3 days to get the product when you're over there. Unreal, very lucky. And when they opened in Europe, it took them about a year to get things, going, and so, but they're open. Okay.
So pretty good. Jen's been her
Amazing.
usual
Thank you so
efficient
much.
self. That's
You're
amazing.
so efficient with these answers to questions that people so efficient.
Anyone that can unmute, if you've got a question, please unmute, and we'll be more than happy to.
Can I just say something?
Yep.
I started off hoping it would help my osteoarthritis and believing it would, just thinking this is a real no-brainer. So I just started sharing with everybody that I knew. And the great thing was, as I shared with them and then they told others, I helped them to share with their friends and family. And without even realizing, I had a business growing on the side. And that's a good thing about when you share and you want to help other people, how you get rewarded. And it just grew like that within the first month. I think we ranked up 2 or 3 spots, and I didn't even, I would have loved to have the product, but I believed in it so much. And then I started hearing the testimonials, reading about them, and realized that I was doing the right thing. And I wanted to share with everybody. I didn't want everyone to miss out. So it's as easy as telling people about it. There's no big deal. Just asking them, maybe this could help you or somebody you know, and your business grows alongside, which is great, because not that I was looking for a business, as Beck said, I came out of retirement, but that money has helped me to help other people get the product that couldn't afford it otherwise, and travel with family and things like that. So the money's a beautiful, if you like, reward for sharing. But my main reason was to get the product known, to get people on it. I knew so many people who needed it, and I've seen the results, terrific results with them, and also growing their business. So just been a beautiful experience, and to do it with my family, it's just the icing on the cake.
Beautiful.
And I'll just chime in there and say Denise has done so much for the company in pre-launch that she has qualified herself for an all expenses paid cruise, flights included to the Greek islands and Mykonos, Santorini, and she's decided for 2, and she's taking my brother, who has only ever been overseas one time. That was to visit us last year or the year before. So what a gift, and this is an all expenses paid cruise for, I think it's 8 days. And she's so, again, there's just so many ways to keep giving back and to have to feel fulfilled and have quality of life through this opportunity, through this product. And the business model is incredibly generous.
Yeah.
So
definitely. Sorry, James, you asked about South Africa. That is on the radar, but not Asia is next. So basically, the format of the way the business is operating at the moment was it went from the US, it came to Australia and New Zealand. We're currently in pre-launch. So New Zealand's about to open I would say by mid-Jan. The product is on its way, the labeling. We've got companies set up here. We've got the product registered in terms of label compliance and so forth. So once Australia opens, we'll start shipping into Asia, hence Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines. From there, they'll look towards the Upper Africa region. I'm not sure about sort of Dubai or United Arab, those areas, then South Africa. But what? One of the things Shane really wanted was to make sure that we, what was the word he used? Consolidated the countries that were open, because the nature of this style of business is very, very powerful when it comes to people talking. And when you've got a product that is this good, people talk about it. And when people talk about it, people buy it in a lot of quantities. And when that happens, we've seen here stock issues. It's because it's coming from America and so forth. So he's kind of subject to a lot of kind of third-party things like customs sticking there, and so forth. So once we've got it here in New Zealand, we'll be able to start shipping and so forth. So sorry, that was a long-winded probably way, but just to get you an understanding of where we're sort of heading. And
also, what Vitify's really, when we had our meeting with Shane, the owner, he was really committed to working country specific. So we know that the currency in certain countries is, poor compared to the US dollar, for instance. So, and we've had talks with people in South Africa before about, the dollar being quite low, and the product might look expensive as it stands. So what they're committed to doing is investigating how they can open into pretty much every market and make it affordable. So they're open to, but that takes some investigating, understanding the culture and the currency of the market. But they've done that with Mexico and Colombia, which is also it's there. So if it can go into South Africa and be affordable for people, then it will absolutely be going to South Africa, because that's a huge market. And people need it. People need the product everywhere. So
just, Jen, before we go to you, Bernadette, you asked about when is Symbiofy best taken at night or morning. Honestly, I think you've got to find your own rhythm there, because I found it's normally best taken on an empty stomach. So sometimes morning, I tried it in the morning. I felt pretty good, but I had really good benefit when I took it lasting at night, like before bed. I think maybe through sleep and so forth, and not actually eating for, if you're in bed for say, 6 hours or whatever, or hopefully you're not snacking at night. But I found it really beneficial, but always on an empty stomach, as Denise said. So just find what's best for you, and
she just wanted to know with it. So you can do it as a 10-day detox. So one box, basically, the Symbiofy has 10 little sachets in it. I'll just show you. So just the 4 caps per sachet. So this is a 10-day detox, which is great to restore the good, introduce good bacteria to the gut, give you a sort of a microbiome reset. Do that for 10 days if you're in good health. That's probably all you'd really need. Do that maybe once a month, once every few months if you're in really good health. If you have a health challenge that you're concerned about that might involve the digestive system, you probably could do 3 of these in a row, so a whole month's worth. And then maybe for some people they do 3 months at a stretch. But we do have a wellness team, a Vitify wellness team. So you're encouraged to email the doctors and actually talk to them about your specific conditions, because obviously we get paid to be marketing the product, not to be giving medical advice. And that's great, because anybody coming in who wants to share the product doesn't ever have to feel the burden of having to know everything or having to have the answers, or what they say might be, there's a lot riding on it. So actually we just point people in the right direction with this product. We take the product and point people in the right direction. That's pretty much how it goes.
Jen.
Oh gosh, you called me right while I was trying to called on me right when I was trying to cut and paste Dr. Kvet's address.
Okay. Awesome.
Now I'm multitasking and I'm like, oh goodness, performance anxiety. Okay. So one of the things that I wanted to mention is that there is an effect that I'm noticing, and I'm just going to, kind of give an unsolicited personal testimonial about this while I also enter this in the chat that you guys might want to know. So when the body is handling inflammation, and so there's a fire over here, fire in your lungs, a fire in your belly, a fire in some fashion, and the it's called circadian rhythms. They're of our healing and regeneration that we're designed with, every single one of us. They go through the night, but if there's a fire over there, then a lot of energy needs to go and handle that. It becomes the priority. So the healing and regeneration that Sergio and Rebecca are talking about get a much better chance at happening if the fire is put out, and curcumin and plus and Nanofy do that beautifully. Here's an interesting thing that I've noticed. When I also take Synbiofy, there is an immune system increase, there's a mood lift, there's a whole host of benefit that's naturally happening because the gut is restored, and there's a lot of healing regenerative actions that come from the gut, especially related to the gut and the brain. And all of a sudden, the curcumin doesn't have to handle or address that. So you get an even more elevated, I have gotten and noticed, I should say, a more elevated experience of, whoa, my back pain just disappeared because all these other things were handled. The curcumin could go and go into that space. And, you know, some people will notice this immediately. Like, you know, I've heard of people in 90 minutes going from a pain scale of 8 to 0. Sometimes it's a few days, sometimes it's up to 90 days. And the reason for that is the full complement of our red blood cells replenishes and replaces itself within 90 days. So by 90 days, every single blood cell will have been steeped in a beautiful inflammatory reduction agent called curcumin, and that has touched every part of our body. So I just thought all these things were important to say, and now there's another question that Sergio and Rebecca can address.
Amazing. And I think that's great. A pain scale is really, really good idea to have when you start taking the product, or have a measure, have some sort of way of documenting what your symptoms are, what your pain scale is, so that when you're taking the product, you can actually, you know, kind of gauge how effective it is. Because often you'll forget, or, you know, when you start feeling well, you'll integrate those changes and you won't remember quite how acute something was. And then if you're like me, you know, 7 months down the track, you'll remember, oh my God, I used to have really severe plantar fasciitis for years, actually, through menopause, and I didn't remember that until we were down in Wellington, and a nurse was speaking to me about having really severe plantar fasciitis, and a light bulb went off and thought, oh my God, I had that too. That was one of the things that I'd completely forgotten has resolved for me. So it's a really good idea to just get a good measure. So you can do the product justice, do yourself justice, and anyone else that you're speaking with, you can kind of have that in mind.
So James would like to know, why would one take Nanofy rather than Curcumin Plus? Good question. What I've found, like, because the Nanofy itself is obviously the curcumin and vitamin D3. The other one has the ginger vitamin C, and the curcumin and vitamin D3. But what we've found with the curcumin plus is that it's a little bit gentler on the stomach. I've certainly found, even in my experience, is the Nanofy does, especially if you take it, say, because, you know, we said take it in coffee or room temperature water, so forth, you can put it on your tongue. When I do that, because that's probably one of the most potent ways to get it into your system, when I do that with the Nanofy, I find my stomach gets a little bit, but I can do it with a curcumin plus with no problem whatsoever. So it's just where people kind of feel like they, you know, because not everybody can take the Nanofy over and over and over again, because they do feel it maybe upsets their stomach a little bit. It's not much, but it's just a little bit. So the curcumin plus gives you that ability to sort of feel like that's alleviated. You want to add anything else to that?
Well, we've noticed a real trend with curcumin plus and mental health improvements, and people with anxiety, depression, PTSD, those kind of almost psychosomatic, and, you know, an elevation in mood. Not to say that Nanofy doesn't help with that or couldn't help with that. It just feels to me like we've been, you know, working with these products now for a number of months, and Nanofy has 33 milligrams of curcumin in it, and it's darker in color. And you'll probably remember from the slides, the curcumin plus is lighter. It has 31 milligrams and those added extras in it. So I tend to feel this packs a bit more of a punch for a really acute, like, let's say chronic inflammation, but also acute inflammation, pain, things like that. Whereas the curcumin plus feels to be a bit lighter and seems to have this effect on helping people with, which, you know, we've got one of our teammates is starting to collate lots of testimony with people with mental health improvements, and a lot of it seems to be based around Curcumin Plus.
Yeah.
So
And we've heard people too with particular stories where they've been on, say, one product for a couple of weeks and not kind of really feeling like they're getting results, and change to the other one, and then bang. I mean, again, that's individual results vary as that saying goes, but
I would always say change up the formula if you're not feeling like you're getting the results that you're hearing other people are having. Change the amount you're taking, either maybe split it up, take it morning and night instead of just in the morning, or increase the amount, or take it for longer periods of time. Like there's usually one of those keys will help you start to be able to utilize the curcumin as effectively as your body can anyway. So, and people with very high inflammatory markers generally will see very fast results. I did want to share a couple of things on the hub.
Yeah, Jen, you talk while we're going to share a couple of other things, but you keep talking.
Okay, so in the chat, while Sergio and Rebecca have been talking, I've been posting some different links, and one of those is to our Disruptive Wellness group that they shared about, and there's some instructions there. So there are other links and videos and things you may find of interest that you want to reflect on later. You can go to the chats by going in the bottom of your screen, your menu bar. Thank you. It says chat down there, and when it's next to the word everyone, or next to if you've got privately messages somebody, you'll see their name. There are 3 dots, and when you press those dots, it will say save chat. That will go somewhere in your computer or to your desktop, and you'll be able to have all of those resources available. To answer the question about Curcumin Plus or Nanofy, one thing you could do is join Disruptive Wellness and have a look at the testimonials. Very often, people will tell you the results that they were getting and what they did in terms of which formula, how many drops, how often, did they pair it with Symbiofy? And that's one way that you could potentially really tailor which formula you might want to choose for what you've got going on or what someone else that has going on. Thanks.
Awesome, thank you. We've just come to Disruptive Wellness just to show you how it works. You saw Rebecca just went to the search function there and typed diabetes. Yep.
It's an example. So this one, just to give you an example, hopefully you can all see that. I'll just make sure that is visible. So you can just go into Disruptive Wellness and type a keyword and then have a look. Dr. Thornton is talking about changes in blood work that he's able to detect. There's a few quite graphic images. I better not, because sometimes people get upset with me for showing offs. I'll just pass that one. There's a bit before and after photos abound. And the other one I'll show you is the hub that we have. And we've got some fantastic new testimonies from our team. So Disruptive Wellness is a worldwide testimony group. There's about 25,000 members and counting every day. Hundreds and hundreds of people are joining because they're hearing about the product, and they go in and they share their story, like Jen just shared her testimony. And this is our hub. So we call this the hub for members and distributors, which is our team, personally our team, mainly Australia, New Zealand. We do have some Europeans and Americans, Canadians in here now. And we've got our own, we post everything. So we've got invites to the presentations on a Monday night. We've got, ship product updates, who's getting their product. Everybody gets really excited about that. There's the amazing Jen just did her own presentation down in Dunedin, and a few great stories coming up from distributors. This one is a fantastic one. Karen actually developed what was diagnosed as Bell's palsy when she went to Fiji and got a really bad infection. And doctors said it would take, well, the prognosis was months actually on I think it was on steroids and things. And this is 2 weeks before and after. So she's now such a champion of this product. And what's beautiful about her story is that it's given her and her hubby Case a new vehicle to help fund their dentistry ministry. So they drive around with others helping to perform dental services for people that can't normally afford that type of work. So this has given her a whole new perspective, and ability in a way to actually fund her dreams of helping others in a bigger way. So she had a great result. And what I love about this product is that it can tie in with other things that you can vision, you know, so it does give you a vehicle. And another testimony here, I have to share it. It is graphic. So if you don't like graphic, close your eyes. But we met Flo just a couple of weeks ago at one of our in-person presentations that we did down in Hastings, and she had used some black salve on a situation, let's call it, on her face that she had. And we
It was there for 3 years, by the way.
yeah, it was there for 3 years, and we gave her a bottle of drops on the night. This is on the 29th of October, I remember, because that's my birthday. And so not long ago, and she also got a wholesale kit on the night, but while she's waiting for the delivery, we gave her a bottle. She started, this is how it was day 0 when we saw her. By day 4, now this is just taking 10 drops a day orally. There's nothing, she wasn't putting any drops on her skin, although you can do that. You can put the drops on topically if you've got burns and bites and wound, you know, cuts and things like that. Day 8 and day 13. So this is just last weekend. We're just so pleased for her.
You know, it's funny. Actually, it's not funny, but when people see that, they're almost like they're quite stunned. And we've had some people say, "Oh, some have gone, no, that's not true. There's just no way." Interestingly, she was here last week on the call live, and you could see her. I was hoping she might be here tonight, but she was live on the call, and you could quite clearly see it. It was completely like it was in the photograph. But Marie, I think you've had your little hand up for a while. It's you that wants to have a question. Got a question?
Yeah, hi guys.
Yeah.
Hey, this is really exciting stuff. It's so good. We've given a couple of bottles to friends, and as you know, we got a few extra off you. Thanks, Rebecca.
I left them on the doorstep. Yeah.
We're becoming little fiends for it, and we're getting some great results. Another girl about our age has the asthma thing, and within 2.5 days, she's noticed she is not using her inhaler, and she's just buzzing on that. My daughter was crook for about 2.5-3 weeks, and she's 11, and she wouldn't take it on her tongue, so we're giving her a good dollop on her finger for 3 days while she was here on the weekend, and the flu gone, or whatever, a nasty hack in her throat.
She
had a lung infection.
When we saw you, she was right in the throes of that, and you said, "I wonder if she'll take it." Amazing.
Yeah.
It's
We got
exciting.
it into her. The question I had was, with the Plus, is the same technology wrapped around the vitamin C and the ginger?
No,
As the
just
curcumin?
the vitamin D that's in both products is a lipid. So there is micelle around the D, but not the vitamin C and ginger.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be, because it's actually not, those aren't lipids. That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's absorbable by the body anyway. Oil-based or lipid-based, so D, obviously the curcumin, things like vitamin A, vitamin E, and vitamin K are lipids. So they're not, I mean, they're not in these products, but just so you get an understanding of what a lipid based supplement is. So it doesn't need to be, as Rebecca said.
Things like omegas and CoQ10, they're all lipids as well. So we're excited because we might be able to pair this technology with other things in the future that are really hard to actually get into the body and be effective in the body. So
that's great, though, to hear the results happening all around.
Excited for your family. Wow.
Yeah, no, that's really stoked. That's a bit of a touchy
You know,
one.
also, just in terms of taking the product, a lot of kids don't like the taste. You can get creative. You can just buy vegetable capsules from, like, empty caps from the chemist or the health food store, and just put the drops in and close it, and they can swallow. Or if you really want to, you could make gummy bears out of the drops in with a bit of natural gelatin and fruit juice. We've had a lot of families that do that for their kids. Or just put it in milk, like make a sunshine milk, or in hot chocolate. They can't taste it. Undetectable in hot chocolate. So yeah, you don't have to put it straight on their tongue if they don't like it. You can cook with it, but not if the cooking, is going to be above 100 degrees. And
Yeah.
just one other thing on the asthma situation, we have a teammate who has given the product to sent some bottles over to Canada, where we're also pre-launching. And this is a physio in Canada who's one of the top physios in the world. She does a special shoulder technique that only 2 people in the whole world can do. So she's really busy. She gave the drops to her husband, who is an asthmatic, but so severe that he has to every few months take injections of some kind of, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it costs $30,000 a year for these injections for asthma. And that's how severe it is, obviously. And he has halved his medication, and he's hoping that he won't have to have the next injection. So it's just so exciting. A simple product that's $25 a bottle. It can change lives so profoundly, and families can get their family members back. It's really, really worth getting behind this.
I think Marie had a question as well.
Hey, thanks guys for all of your support, and yeah, we're pretty excited and still approaching random strangers. Everything comes near us, so that's fun. And I did have a question about the coaching and about the email for the doctors, if you could share.
Yeah, so if you go to the chat, you will see that Jennifer did put the Dr. Angel Gabet, his email there. So if you've got anything,
cool,
please.
thank you.
So before we sign off, and we apologize, I know I said it was going to be a little bit over an hour, but anyway, when you're having fun, right? But
Yeah.
so please just go to the chat and get any links off there that you may need to. If you feel like, oh, wow, you missed out, reach out to the person who invited you, and we'll give you all access to those things. But so yeah, Marie, it's on there. What was the other one?
The coaching, like you were saying, 4 to 5 figures a month. There was coaching. Is that a separate program, or?
Yeah, that's separate. We'll talk to you privately about that.
Yeah, we can definitely talk to you about that. Yeah. We do want,
Thanks,
if
guys.
anybody is keen at that level to say, yes, I want to be coached to 4 to 5 figures a month, let us know. We did this in record time. We did this in 80 days to that level of income. So we've done it. We know it's possible. We've replicated that. So
I think
mission?
just lastly, just on that is that I know if you here on the team, we talk about I think one of the things that I was really like looking at it was the level of professionalism you do with this. I mean, anyone can do this. Come on board. You can meet it where you want, like Rebecca said before. Start where you want. Do as much as you want. Do as little or as much as you want. But if you're really serious about it, there's great avenue there for doing it well, or doing it professionally. And there are systems in place for that, right? And again, that just depends on where your vision and goal is. So if you really want to change your life, there's ways of doing that are structured, that are supported and so forth. But obviously takes, you got to educate yourself, and we have the education and that, and we have associations with ways of getting that information to you. So you do it, you want to do this and give it the we say with integrity, right? So when you approach someone, you approach them with integrity, conviction, and posture, and that comes from understanding the aspects of how to actually do this business, and give it the respect it deserves, and give yourself the respect it deserves. But anyway,
and knowing what you've got in your hands, it's always really good to qualify people by asking them the simple question: are you open to fill in the blank, hearing about a breakthrough technology, trying something brand new, a new way to help people? Are you open to hearing about how to make more income for your clinic? But just asking that question allows them to answer it in a way that gives you clarity about whether you can proceed or not, with an invitation to give them a bottle or invite them to a Monday call or something. But just ask people, just simply asking, qualifying them, are you open to ... And everyone will tell you yes or no. And it saves so much heartache. It saves a lot of anxiety about feeling like you've got to talk to everyone in the world. You don't actually. You want to talk to people that are open
Yeah.
for something, because that's their prerogative. So we do lots of coaching that's separate to the Monday calls, obviously, because this is all about the product and sharing the vision and the opportunity that we've got in pre-launch, which is honestly, if you take anything away from tonight, give this a second look. I would really encourage that. We're excited to work with leaders, especially in other countries, who have reached, and the reason for that is, you know, when we thought about this initially, we said we would kick ourselves if we didn't get behind this product and it took off in a way that, you know, people started hearing about it. And that's exactly what's happening. And we're just glad that we're part of that happening. But, you know, in sharing the product, you know, you might individually be able to share the product with 100 people or 150 people over the next couple of months. But if you build a team of 1,000 or 500 or 200 or 100 or bigger, imagine the duplication, how many people can be reached with the product. If you've got 1,000 team members like we do, sharing with 100 people each, that's a lot more people getting the product in their hands and their families than what you could do on your own. So that's the power of teamwork, and that's why we get so passionate about this model.
Awesome. Look, you know, we would go on, and that's the danger. We know it. No, I would, yeah, no, I was, yeah. Anyway, we really do want to thank each and every one of you for giving us your Monday night. We know your time is of value.
Except if you're in Germany and it's
Unless you're in Germany, it's Monday. You're only just starting your day, so well done, James. Look, any further questions or anything? Reach out to the person who invited you. Anything in depth? Reach out to us. If you're in the hub, just flick us a message. We're more than happy to help. And again, we will really do want to thank you all. We are here again next Monday.
So please come and bring some people who want to hear about this incredible opportunity. And yeah, we look forward to catching up soon.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Thank you very much.